Hi, this is Scott Jordan, and you are watching live here at Cellars of Sonoma in beautiful Railroad Square, Santa Rosa, California. And welcome to TV Tuesday Live. This is the show where we taste wine, we talk about wine, and tonight we've got Deering Winery in the house. Todd is here to give us some insight of what the heck is going on out there in the vineyards, man. Well, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, and he brought some cool stuff that we've never seen before, which is cool. We also have Dave in the house, and this is your opportunity to stump the band big time. I mean, without a doubt. It's easy when you ask me questions.
And the band didn't show up, so we'll try and handle it.
Yeah. So if you've ever had a question that you wanted to ask of a winemaker, owner, vineyard guru, road maker.
I probably don't know because I mainly
know some people like that, right?
I do know a lot of people like that. I run errands for people is what I mainly do.
Well, and that's good too.
Yeah.
Because someone has to do that.
That's the whole point.
That's right. That's right. So this is your chance. Let Karina will field questions. I've got some from folks that emailed us back, and we'll ask those as we go along here. We've got a bunch of wine here. We have a bunch of wine.
We do.
Yeah, we do. Well, you brought a whole bunch of other stuff, which is really cool. 2011.
Yes.
And for my wine club members that are watching tonight, your shipment is being put together as we speak, and one of the wines in that shipment is the new 2011 Ideal Red Blend, which we're going to get a little peek at today.
Yes.
Because
very much so. It's very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard good stuff, and then a new wine that you haven't done yet. In fact, we've never had it in the room.
Oh, and no? You've never had it?
That one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
You got to wait. So you got to watch, and you got to wait till we unveil what it is. But it's cool, and it's got a beautiful label on it.
It does.
Both of them do. They're fantastic.
It does. Well, I'll tell you, we are changing the label at Deering Wine. And that's what we're doing. We've been having a contest for some time now with redesigning it with some different designers and to see what it is. I mean, you know, when we started with Deering Wine, we designed this label with we were moving to China. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of more of a label that worked well in China, and we decided we needed to brighten it up and bring it back home, and this is where we predominantly sell wine now.
So, yeah.
So actually, your motivation on this was to make sure it was compatible with the Chinese market.
Well, yeah, well that it brought to things to people that they wanted.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it was the sense of place is mainly the thing. You know, we have a lot of labels here that do have pictures on them and drawings, but there it's a lot more important to kind of show, and that actually is a drawing of our vineyard and that kind of thing.
Now, so for the new label, are you leaning in a different color scheme? Are you
completely different? I mean, it's a different kind of artistic label. I mean, my former life, I built furniture. Okay. So it kind of plays into that, and kind of plays into things that I've built.
All right. Well, that sounds really intriguing. Now we got a furniture label.
Furniture.
Well, you're kind of on the right track there a little bit, and that's kind of what part of it's going to be. So it's exciting to do a new label and play around with it. It's harder the second time around, let me tell you.
Well, and you have to get it right, because once you get it in the marketplace, if it's not working, you're losing market share big time, and a lot of the vintners out there that I see and talk to and so on, they get kind of emotionally attached to the label, and they don't think about it in the marketing side, and that's where they make the big mistakes. And you see them in the stores all the time, and you go, you look at it and you go, I know exactly what happened.
Well, it looks
You know.
great from here, but it doesn't look. You can't tell what it
Right.
is over
Right.
there, and
Yeah.
that's kind of the thing. And it's hard to compete on shelf space anyway is impossible.
Yeah.
And that's why being like at Cellars of Sonoma and where people are hand selling their wine, that's what it's really I think all about anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we bring them close up. That's
yeah,
for sure.
So it's a lot easier that way. We're
Well,
gonna start with
I'm going to start with the Grenache Blanc,
yes.
and we're going to get into the other one. We put one in the back fridge there and really chill that down. But
Oh,
we're
good.
going to talk about rosé and all
Oh,
of that.
great.
But I think Grenache Blanc gets a really interesting look when we suggest that to guests because they don't see that out in the marketplace.
No, and that's kind of why we did it.
To be different.
Well, I think in Sonoma County there's like 0.8 of an acre planted.
What the hell?
I mean, there's quite a bit more planted down south, but there isn't a lot around.
There's some in Santa Barbara.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some in Santa Barbara.
So
I
why?
had looked it up once. It's like 6% of the plantings of Grenache are Grenache Blanc.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, you can't find it, even if you look for it. So, what I like about this though is that here it is. It's convenient, but I've had this before and it's just really well balanced.
Well, and it's clean, which is what I like. And for those that aren't leaning toward a Chardonnay, because Chardonnay drinkers are real, they're in one camp, man. They don't get out of that very often. But somebody that's looking for a Sauvignon Blanc that's not on the grassy side, that has a little more texture to it, they really like this.
And some spiciness. Some,
Yeah, it
really
there's
does.
some kind of real
Definitely.
minerally, some brining spice in the nose.
It definitely has that Rhone character coming through, even though it's a white. As Grenache is definitely a Rhone style, Southern France varietal, but this really has enough full-bodied kind of envelopment of the palate that you can put some additional weight of food against it. So you have more pairing options with this than you would in a single, simple white wine.
Yeah, because you could probably go, to spicy foods or Thai food,
absolutely.
and it'll hold up.
You can. A lot of Indian food I've done with it, and lots of, some lighter Mexican food does fantastic. Ceviche and that kind of thing, because it really, when you warm it up with that little bit of spiciness in there, mixed in with some peppers and some that, it really does. It just makes it real nice.
Well, we paired it up with our gourmet cheese brie, and it rocked. It just nailed it big time. They were like buddies. That was because, and it's kind of weird doing a brie grilled cheese, but it really works well. And
who doesn't love a grilled cheese? Even you could put a little, apple on there too.
Yeah.
You get something.
Yeah. No. So now I get a little roundness. You told me now. Most of that stainless steel. Did some of that go into barrels?
Yeah, we did. We barrel fermented it. 50% of it, about 25% of it got barrel fermented, if I remember correctly.
And then you did 50%
in stainless steel.
in stainless steel.
But there is kind of that creaminess to it. It's still, but it's still crisp enough. My thing always with most white wines is that you have to be able to serve them off temperature, because how many times have you been to a wedding or an outdoor event and somebody hands you something white and you just kind of want to set it down because it's a little funky,
Yeah.
And so that's always kind of the test.
As it warms up, it shows some of the flaws. And what's nice about this is so well balanced, you don't pick that up at all.
Right, and that's kind of, that's what we always try, I always try for, is to make sure.
Well, we use it as a greeter wine. When we do events, we like to use this because it works in a cross section of folks.
Yeah, it's got some weight to it.
Yeah. Even the Chardonnay drinkers, they're okay with this because it does have some body to it and does have that roundness and the creaminess enough for them to be okay with it.
Yeah.
Because Chardonnay people can be tough. Some of them are just like really.
Chardonnay is very tough.
Yeah. Man, it's like really.
That's when where you'll actually get somebody like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
Personality trait.
Yeah, it is.
Well, we're going to put it to the test because I'm doing an event, a partner event with the Hyatt.
Oh, great.
And what we're going to do is we're going to bring the 4 wines from our food and wine pairing, that we've paired up with our grilled cheese. They're going to do my recipes for the grilled cheese, and we're bringing the wine to about 90 people. So we're going to get a real good look at that.
That
And,
sounds fantastic.
well, yeah, we moved some wine and, you know.
Eat some grilled cheese. I mean, come on, nothing.
Yeah, so
That's the best part about
we're
having
doing that
kids
next
is
week.
you get to keep
Yeah.
eating grilled cheese.
Yeah.
You want a grilled cheese? Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see how the audience, a big group like that.
Oh, that'd be great.
But I think the pairing, there was 2 pairings when we did it that we thought were absolutely dead on. It was the brie and this, and then it was the blue cheese, and we did a Cabernet Franc.
Oh, that
And
would be. I can
it was
see
like
that.
it was like stop the presses.
Right,
'cause
right. That works.
And the people that are watching know that I am not a blue cheese guy. I mean, you got to really like it. Freaks me out. It by itself, there's no way in the world. But man, when you put it with that Cab Franc, I'm like, okay, I think I can learn to. It's not going to be my everyday food, but I can live.
Yeah. I still want to do an event with the cheese people at Oliver's Market. I think they do such a phenomenal job.
They
like
do
you're
a
talking
great-
about blue cheese. They have some blue cheeses that will just blow you away. You know, they've got some that are kind of smoked, but really well balanced, so that you're not just, that really heavy medicinal taste
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
They just don't have those. And I think it's gotten a bad rap from kind of growing up with some really
Yeah, it's
stout
guys like me,
cheese.
man, that are going ahead.
Like,
There's no way I'm doing
not
that.
really. Yeah, that doesn't sound appetizing.
And I like
especially
cheese. I
even
like
with
most
wine,
cheese.
yeah.
But when you get into the really strong stuff, it bothers me a lot. But man, when you pair it with the wine, wow, I'm almost like really. I can actually live with that and
Well, and also the cheesemakers that are coming up in Sonoma County are amazing. I mean, there are some really phenomenal cheesemakers,
Mhm.
in our area. So that we're really starting to do the food and wine thing is instead of a monoculture is really exciting to me. I think.
oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah. What better than that's why we did the grilled cheese because it was like a no-brainer.
yeah.
Drink
Yeah.
local. Eat
We added a
local.
new one. We added a new one. We added tuna.
Mm.
And that
I love tuna.
That rocks the house, dude. You got a question? Go ahead.
I have 2 questions about the Grenache Blanc.
Okay, so
One,
the first one's free. The other one's 100. Go ahead.
Yes.
the first one is, how come there isn't very much of it planted in California? Is it just a newer varietal that people haven't really grabbed onto here yet? That's my question number 1. And question number 2 is, where is it grown and what kind of climate is it best in?
All right. So let me
Will you take the
repeat.
answers off the air now?
Yeah. So we're.
Yeah,
so
can
let
you
me
just plug your ears.
let me repeat the questions. Why isn't there a lot of it grown here? And then, what kind of climate really works best? So why the heck isn't it grown?
Why isn't it? Well, I mean, whenever you plant a vineyard, it's a very, very expensive thing. Vineyards are a very expensive proposition. So
Yeah, they-
you more or less want a sure thing. You want to be able to sell. Cabernet is planted so widely because you can sell it. I mean, it is a commodity business still at the end of the day. And so Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, I guess in the past that we saw a lot more Chenin Blanc. That all got ripped out. As things
Yeah.
change, people will quickly, abandon what they've got. Merlot. I mean, you couldn't plant enough of it.
Don't get me
now you
don't
can't
get me
give it
started
away.
on the Merlot. I
So,
like Merlot.
I just
Merlot.
grafted an acre of Zinfandel that I didn't particularly like an area of to Merlot.
I love it. I think it's
does
smart.
a lot of great things, but it's an economic thing. I think a lot of the time is it's safe to plant Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay.
What was the Grenache Blanc a varietal that was brought here at any time and ever planted in any great
I don't know. Do you know?
quantities?
Well,
Or has it never been that
what
product?
happens, these things end up happening for whatever natural reason. People decide to like it, and then they start populating it and propagating it and making it into something. Because it's human beings who are naming these things. Nature's just doing all these crazy things. And so the fact that it's here, obviously somebody cared enough to bring it here, or it naturally happened here. I think the first is probably more true, that they knew what they had and brought it over. And I don't know if UC Davis has it or not, but clearly it was an intention to pretty much take an attitude that he's taking, which is really cool. Experimentation let's set aside the business proposition for a minute, because ultimately it might come full circle, and that might be the very distinguishing factor that makes it a business proposition, to have what little you do and plant it and make a success out of it. And it's not everywhere, so they end up buying it from you. So it really is all about the business. But the fun thing is nature changes things, and you say, I want that, I want that.
Now,
Well, you got to care too. I mean, like
Yeah.
I just had a guy come to me and say, will you plant this little area to Nebbiolo? And I was like, well, so I started reading books on Nebbiolo. Like I don't know. It's a very vigorous vine.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I mean, I guess we could try it, but the thing with like Nebbiolo is by the time we find out if it's good or not, we'll all be dead. I mean,
well, you're not planting anything that's going to make you die. That's not good.
no. It's just that that's the long. It's just the.
That's a long.
Typically you age
you're
them
rolling
longer.
the dice on that.
And it is, but you still, it's still in the back of my mind. Like, why didn't we just put a little Nebbiolo over there? You have to be that kind of person to want to take those chances.
Yeah,
I mean, because
that's-
it is, like I said, it is really expensive to plant vineyards.
Oh, yeah.
It's very difficult to get, permits and that kind of thing. It's not.
Oh, the county's not helping you? How weird is that?
I'll just shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, don't get me started. I'm just telling you.
I have another rant.
Now, when I was out to your vineyard, didn't you say you planted some Grenache Blanc?
In the process of it.
Oh.
I mean, so it's all rootstock in the ground. So I have, I finished out a permit last year, and we have rootstock in the ground, and we're going to wait and see, figure out what we're actually planting, and that's the fun part. I mean, the fun part is when you're planting a vineyard is you get to pick all these fun things and you set it all up, and then you're done. And I just want to keep doing it. I'm like, well, okay, well, let's find something else to plant somewhere, and you got to kind of stop yourself because you just keep kind of replanting everything. Eventually, I like growing grapes that much. I mean, I think that's an incredibly enjoyable, fulfilling thing to do, because you get to be out there. You're out, outside with the snakes and everything else, and I love it.
I have to tell you, for those of you that know the area where his vineyard is, up by Nuns Canyon Road. It's Nuns Canyon Road, right? Yeah. In Kenwood, up on the hill. He took me up there, and that is probably one of the most impressive, because first of all, you don't see it from anywhere. There's no way you would even know that that's there. I mean, it's incredible. But when you get way up that top end, man, you can see forever. I mean, it is. The good Lord just went, okay, we're gonna make this look really cool. And they did, right?
Yeah.
Every spot up there is like another home site. Like you could live right there, and it's got this crazy view where you couldn't see it from the street because it's.
Yeah, no, that's kind of and that was the intention all along, was to build it without seeing it. So
Man.
that it wasn't this thing in your face.
It was.
That we've kept it as natural and in balance as we can. So we planted the vineyards we could, and we left everything else. We only fenced in the sections of vineyard that we had, so that we still have the animal traffic coming through. You just can't fence off the whole thing.
Yeah.
You try not to, so that you still have all the great things going on that we live here for. So.
Yeah, it's a pretty spot. I just got to tell you, that's one of these days we'll have a barbecue up there.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
That would be great.
It's a place where you get up there and you go, man. And I've been to lots of vineyards. I've been, forever. But damn, it just impressed me. It was so beautiful. It was breathtaking. That's quite a spot.
Let's do that now.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're done. See,
We're going to do it on the road.
Yeah, well, we'll get up there and film some
I'll
stuff.
get on my motorcycle. Let's have a little bit more wine, and then I'll follow you guys with the camera.
There
There's
you go.
nothing could go bad there, right?
All right, so this is rosé. First of all, I am a rosé nut. I dig rosé. Every time I go, because I'm kind of a junkie, meaning on the days that I'm not working in here and don't have anything, I go to wineries because I'm like some mad science. I'm just weird like that.
Well, you want to go out and see what's out there,
I
right?
do.
I mean,
and
that's,
but I look for rosé. I mean, I look for rosé because I really like rosé. Now, this is made from Pinot Noir.
Mhm.
And where are you getting the Pinot for this? What?
That is from my vineyard manager's vineyard, Chewy Ordaz at Placida Vineyard. And he's over
Pretty.
off of, whatever road that is. I can't say the name of it right now, but
Okay.
yeah, it's Russian River fruit. Yeah, I love this little vineyard. It's surrounded by eucalyptus trees, so you can kind of pick up some real interesting flavors in it and aromas.
Now you say that, yeah.
But it really is. You would never know it was there. You would not on a million years know there was a vineyard planted where
Now,
it is.
what was that also Pinot that you use in your regular Pinot program, or
Mhm.
just
Yeah, same vineyard.
okay? And production on that. What were we talking about on wow, like this?
100 cases.
100 cases?
100 cases.
Oh my God, 100 cases. Yeah. Good luck.
If that even, I think it may have been, might be sub.
Order it now while it lasts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we got it. Well, I'll unveil. We got one cooking in the back there,
Yes.
but it's cooling down. But before we finish tonight, we'll crack that and see how that. Now that's a 14.
That's a 14.
So you've had an opportunity to see now a little more 13s. You're starting to now see some of the 14s. What is your take on 13 versus 14? I mean, what do you think?
Both phenomenal years. I think that there's an opportunity that I can't get into that better idea of wine. It's
Mhm.
different. High quality across the board. I mean, I think that we again from 12, 13, 14, we didn't go wrong, and I think even going into where we are now with 15, we could have another amazing, yet maybe smaller crop, but it would. I think it's going to be potentially a great year with the cool weather. We did have an early bud break. But you never know. Again, that's just farming, I guess. You're
Yeah.
like, I wish it would do this, but then it never does.
Yeah, right.
So, give
Well, it
up.
has been
It
weird.
usually
We
does
haven't
the
had-
opposite, in fact, right?
Exactly. Like, I think it looks
thought
like.
for sure this was going to be.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big fan of rosés, and again, that's a versatile wine, in my opinion, that you can pair up with food. That it'll go with
Yeah,
all
this
kinds
definitely
of stuff.
steps forward where
Yeah,
you can put some serious food against this and really enjoy it.
yeah. I could
But by
do
itself,
a salmon
it's
with that,
a great
sitting on the
expression.
deck when it's
Yeah.
85, 90 degrees out. If we ever get that
And that's what I always love reading about rosés. Of they can be from a onion skin color to purple. I mean,
Yeah.
so it is a very versatile wine. You can make them extremely dry. You can make them very sweet. So I mean, our friend White Zinfandel has been in the same.
Well, at the dam, that wine
but
is still
but that's what
top
people
seller.
wanted to drink,
Yeah.
and that was, it was a time period. So
Yeah.
there's absolutely, positively nothing wrong with it. I mean, you should have seen some of the vineyards that they used to make White Zinfandel. I mean,
Oh,
you'd
yeah.
be like, really? That's like a 120-year-old vineyard, and you're like, yes, it is. And
Yeah.
you know what? All that fruit went into that program.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not. It was a thing. People, that's what they wanted to drink. I mean, and you can't blame people for that.
No, but it's over the last 8 or 10 years, it's been very nice though to see all these vineyards where they're adding the rosé as another little product, and I think it fits just dandy. And boy, you can't. I'm telling you, I love the rosés. I have no problem with that. Kevin likes rosé too, don't you, Kevin? Kevin, you like rosé, don't you? Yeah, he's a rosé
Thumbs up.
guy. Yeah, thumbs up. Rosé guy. I like that.
Hi guys.
And I like the idea of it's a value, $22 retail, it's a bargain. So you get, and it's beautiful fruit, and I use it all year round too. I'm not just summertime.
I'm with you too.
Yeah.
Right there. I mean, because it goes with so many things.
It's more about the mood you're trying to set anyway. Forget the season. I mean, you're having an evening out back and you're barbecuing, you can do it.
Yeah.
You have a winter evening in front of the fireplace, you can start with that too. It's just what it's about. So
You
rosé,
forgot about breakfast.
breakfast. It's not just for breakfast anymore.
That's
it's my
right.
line, right? It's
Well,
not
that's
just
why
for
you got to go to
breakfast.
sparkling, because I did some sparkling trials, and rosé was
Well,
like,
I love sparkling rosé. I mean,
Oh,
that
man.
sparkling.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Those are amazing.
it was like candy, man,
Yeah.
like woohoo, yeah. So
Nice.
So as we go along here, at some point we'll pull out the 14 and
Yeah,
because you got
that'd be great.
14.
This is
today.
going to be a
We'll do
2-hour
it.
show.
Yeah, it's like a 4-hour show.
Yeah. 'Cause I see a lineup of bottles that
I
doesn't
know,
stop.
I know, and I may skip around a little bit because we want to dive into some of these new things and
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about. This is your 2010 Pinot Noir Russian River. So, are we talking about the same vineyard for this, or?
No, well, the 2012 is a different vineyard. I switched on that.
Now this was a tougher year. 2010, a little tougher vintage, cold summer. Like really cold, like it never got warm at all, right?
So was 11, and so was. I mean, again, for grape growing, I don't know. We got incredible amounts of hang time. We got a lot of great things that, I mean, I think you trade certain things. Always. Super hot years, you get something else.
Damn, what the hell's wrong with that? You guys on
I
that
can't
yet?
find anything wrong with that, Scott.
Andrew, make sure you pour that for these
It's
guys.
not
Holy-
totally without merit, right? Is that
Oh
what
my
you're saying?
gosh.
No, and it took a long time for this wine to come around, and that's what I
I
find.
think they did, yeah. But I'm digging the 10s. I'm looking for 10s. In the red wines, I'm clearly looking at the 10s, and I'm liking I really, really like. They've evolved.
Showing really well.
Yeah, in
The
the
ones that
bottle.
we've tried, yeah.
And I hope that trend stays, though, of going back and not just being done with vintages, of keeping an eye on them, selling different things at different times. I mean, yeah, it's incredibly hard to hold on to wine, and you have to pay for the warehouse and all that kind of thing. But I think a lot of wines we miss out on because we either get rid of them, or we do, we say that the vintage was bad, or we do that kind of thing. I think there's lots of things to be gained.
Well, what's your take on ageability of a wine like this? I think
It just
the
gets better.
fruit is
Yeah.
beautiful.
I mean,
I
what do you
so.
think?
I absolutely think so. I think, it's fun because it's not a snapshot of that's what it's always going to be. It keeps changing. Wouldn't it
Yeah.
be fun to try and taste that through its various stages? And my experience has been these are just getting better and better as it
The
tastes.
first year and a half, it tasted like a fine Pinot Noir, and it had
Right.
Pinot
Yeah.
characteristics,
Yeah, I
and
agree.
that was great. But then all of a sudden, it opened up into this completely different wine, and then everyone's like, "Oh wow!"
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. If you miss it, you
Comes
missed
together and
it.
go, wow, what just happened? Because I know it was great, but now suddenly some magic is starting to happen.
And I see that on the East Coast. The East Coast, a lot of times, are like, when I'm selling wine out there, "Oh, you have got older vintage stuff?" And you're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, can we have that?" I mean,
They get
I
it.
think they get that a lot.
I
more,
like
and
the
think
older
that's a
wines too.
European influence.
Yeah, I like the older wines too, and I like seeing the progression of them as well. And,
Well, also, especially you're on the East Coast, they're tasting all these Burgundies and things. They're tasting those Pinots, saying, "Well, those are age-worthy." Too bad America doesn't have age-worthy Pinots. But the reality is, you do.
hell yeah, you do.
You do.
Yeah, we just drink them too fast.
Well, that's true. It is true.
So it's a double-edged
slow
sword.
down.
Yeah. I try, but
We have 4 hours.
yeah.
Oh, we went to 4 hours. I like that.
It's now a 4
Are we
hours.
gonna have a dinner break at some point?
Yeah,
maybe,
We
yeah.
could put a pause on and put some nice music, and we
Yeah.
could, we could go over to the cafeteria.
Yeah, you guys that are watching from home, we're gonna one of these nights you're gonna watch, and we're gonna end the show with live music, just because we can do that.
And a pizza.
And a pizza. Well, this is showing really well. 2010, retailing that is $50, $42.50 if you're a Cellar Club member. That's beautiful fruit right there, man, and it does have some ageability. I'm thinking you could push that another 5 years easy. That would
So maybe a geeky question. What clones are in here?
You know
recall
what? I
them?
don't.
So you put them all together. You don't say, here's a batch of this and a batch of that.
No, it was all
Which is really cool.
co-fermented. It was just
So in other words, what the vineyard gives you is what you're putting in the bottle.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you can try to keep things separate, and then you're doing a different oak program, and you're doing, and then some barrels work out and some don't. I mean, you
Right.
can be like, this is going to be, we're going to do, this is the best French oak you can buy. But if that barrel doesn't fit into the program, then you have a barrel of wine that you can either try to bottle it on its own, or, typically what we like to do is just sell it to somebody else.
Right.
It's going to make somebody else's program better, and you kind of have to do that sometimes.
Sure,
It
sure.
doesn't all fit. You end up with 11 barrel wine instead of a 12.
What I like about that answer is that you're taking what the vineyard gives you and you're working with that.
So how's that faring for you guys? Do you guys taste that? Is that okay? Is that all right? We all right with that? All right. Right, so they like it. So that's a good thing.
Thank God.
Now I'm going to reach over here because you have some newer vintages of something that we haven't had yet.
Yeah.
So instead of pouring what I had over here, I'm thinking that I open up this.
Let's do it.
And I haven't.
Have a
Hey,
key.
Karina, do you? Oh, well, forget it. I love
Winemakers come
handy.
prepared.
I like it. Oh man, that's a knife. That's not a
That
knife.
brings the pirate out.
That's
in
called the Santa Rosa Fire knife.
That's a knife. Who knows the movie? Come on. Who knows it? Yeah, Dundee. That's right. That's a knife. That's not a knife. That's a knife. That's pretty funny. You guys are all old, all of you except for Karina. Okay.
Yes. You guys are all old. So yes, please keep watching the
Yeah,
show.
keep watching.
Yes. The insults are free. It does come with a program.
That's right.
No extra charge.
Yes. Surly's tasting room.
So if anybody was wondering too, if you notice, if you can't really see the letters on my Giants shirt that I have on, but this Giants shirt has an amazing winning record. Amazing, like it's unbelievable.
I thought you were a Dodgers fan.
Ooh!
Continuing.
Wow! There are some things coming your way. Yeah, don't miss now when you throw that stuff at it. Don't you miss. Don't you miss.
I couldn't. That was low hanging.
Wow, that was. Wow, throwing darts at me. No. See, this has an amazing winning streak, and since we lost the last 3 games, I think that I needed the power to give to them, and so, and if they don't win, I'm going to the game tomorrow, and
Wait,
then
easy.
Yeah.
So we can get in trouble.
Yeah.
Don't make threats.
Well, they called me up and said, "Would you put that black shirt on?" again?"
Yes. Because you wear that down, and you can get to sit in the bullpen. Yeah.
Well, we were watching the game the other night here, and Andrew has a gnome over in the corner. Andrew.
You have a gnome?
Yeah, Andrew, go get that gnome. Show them the gnome. This is hilarious. Whenever during the playoffs.
Oh, it's in a box.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
That way you can
what
return it later if it doesn't
yeah.
work.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
an MLB gnome. Oh,
Yeah. So
that
we were losing the game, and so I got the gnome out.
Oh no.
And I made him watch the game. And people were coming in and going,
Yeah.
"What are you doing with the box?"
No.
And I go, "No, there's a gnome in there, see?"
And when
they
they
go-
lost, you just said, "Go gnome."
Yeah.
And then they left and went
Is it
somewhere
an away
else.
game or a gnome game?
There's
Yeah,
a gnome
game. Yes.
And it didn't work. It didn't work. And normally the gnome, we set him over there, make him watch the game, and we usually do pretty well. That didn't work. So I'm on the black shirt, and that's what I wanted to tell
Okay.
you was
Don't.
I'm
yes.
at this level we need to win.
It's okay. Is there something about worshiping false idols? I'm just curious.
All black.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, this is 2011 Zinfandel, Sonoma Valley. Where's it from?
This is from my vineyard.
Okay.
It's that's nice, isn't it? That changed.
Ooh, yeah.
And
Yeah, we never had that. We haven't
never
ever
had this.
tasted this. Brand new, right out of the
I may
gate.
bring this. Yeah.
Ooh,
Tasty. Tasty.
That is. I'm a big fan of Zinfandel, and
Right away on the nose, you got the pepper, and you know it's
boy,
going
you
to be
do.
intense.
Holy
Get
smokes!
into
You
it.
got it in the finish too. Wow. The hell's wrong with that?
absolutely nothing.
Now that, again, we talked about this earlier. That's another one of those weird vintages where the experts of the guru world
Yeah.
try to poo-poo it off, saying, you know, forget about it, you know, go to the 12s.
Well, it's sales forecasting. You
Yeah.
know, like let's just move that on and not and not look any further. It wasn't great in wherever in Napa or somewhere else, and so you pan the vintage and that's it. You know, just drink it up and be done with it. And we're moving on to to 12 or 13 or whatever.
That's pretty.
It is, and that's really what I like about this vineyard is it is pretty. It is more of a Pinot
jeez.
drinker's Zinfandel. I mean, there's a lot of finesse to it. There's a lot of natural acid that carries right through it. There's just, I mean,
Well, and we talked about ageability. You have great ageability. Now, what are you aging this in when you produce that?
it's about 30% mainly New French oak,
Okay.
33% somewhere in there.
Okay. But all
And then-
all French oak?
Mainly, there may be one or two barrels that are American. It just depends on either what we have, what we can get. You know, it's again barrels like planting vineyards and that kind of thing. Is you're always looking for the perfect barrel, but you may find the perfect barrel for this vintage, but for the next vintage it's something else. You know, so you'll walk down a row of new French oak barrels, and you'll smell all the barrels, and you'll be like, well, this year that Hermitage barrel is just beautiful,
Yeah.
or that Beyond, or that. And that's and that's what's so much fun, is you never know what you're gonna get, and you keep thinking, oh, what's gonna happen next.
Well, it's happening just fine for the 11. Yeah, that's yummy. The 10 is more on the maybe more on the jammier side.
Yeah.
You know, bigger. But did it come from the same vineyard?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just vintage difference. I mean,
Do they get bigger in the bottle? Does that happen over time?
They're always
a grape
changing.
like this?
Zinfandel changes more as much as anything else, I would say. I mean, unless you make it extremely hot and extremely sweet, then that'll take over everything. But I think that as well, this vineyard really does a good job at keeping that in check, because Zinfandel is incredibly hard to keep in balance. You know, either it shows up really hot or really sweet.
Yeah, and the ones that get really
disjointed.
hot, I don't enjoy those at all. I really don't.
No, there's no heat on this.
No.
There's some tannin. There's some tannin in there. You got that rough texture on the tongue at the end, a little bit, which is great
Yeah.
because it'll stand up to that food, and it just really also has an opportunity to last a little longer because of that.
Well, let's take a question from Dean Briggs, one of our wine club members. I asked people to, email me and let me know questions to ask you. So his question was, what wine do you love to make, or what grape do you look forward to grow over others that gives you the most satisfaction as a winemaker? That's loaded. That's a loaded question. So what wine do you love to make? Is there a particular varietal that's kind of like just
No.
fun?
I don't think that particularly there's one that's fun. They're fun at different stages. I mean, I guess I always like Cabernet Sauvignon because it takes a lot longer, and a year into it, it's not you know what it's going to be, but then you wait another 6 months, and then another 6 months, and then you're a couple years in the barrel, and then you're thinking back to that vintage. And so it's a placement. I love making Zinfandel is great. Making the ideal blend is always great. You know, making blended wine is a lot of fun because you're picking the best, you know, of a vintage, and you're finding a way to, you know, to put it all together. So, you know, that's always fun. I mean,
Are you surprised when you wait the 6 months you imagine would be perfect? You taste it and say, oop, I need another 6 months? And is that
no,
something that happens?
What happens most of the time is you go, oh my God, we screwed it up. Because you're not, you know,
Right, okay.
when you have, when you put all the wine in a tank, and you're just putting it on the bottling line, and you can smell this beautiful wine that you've made from coming from the bottling truck, you know, 7 o'clock in the morning, and you're really excited about it. You're finally putting it in the bottle, and then a couple of months later, you can't wait, and you just kind of crack one open, and you know, to see where it is, and you're like, oh, we ruined it. You know, it's always kind of that first thing you didn't.
Right,
it's just, you know, it's in shock,
Yeah.
and it's finding its new home, and you know, it always comes around, but you have moments of, oh, what's that? And then it starts to change even
Right,
more, and then
right.
it really has its own personality, and then you're like, well, it really isn't like what it was when we put it in, you know, from the tank. And I'd love to have people see more of that happen. What it is that we do when we put it
Sure.
in the bottles, what it tastes like. You know, these bright, fresh wines. I've really become accustomed to. I mean, and then I also love the aged wines. So it's a funny thing to see, but you know, at first it was always hard to get over on what these young wines were gonna eventually taste like, and you know, now I just like them in their own right. You know,
Right.
what they are, fresh wine.
Yeah.
So.
Yahoo.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to do another. Okay, I need your opener again.
Did you give it back to me? You stole my opener?
Oh no, I have it right here. Okay.
It's okay, I brought a saber.
Yeah.
Saber.
Oh, we're gonna do some Saber opening.
Oh well, okay.
I know that was one of my last trips to New York City. I was at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, in a wine restaurant establishment with a guy opening champagne with a sword.
No way.
Oh yes.
Wow. I opened up a bottle of wine on that tree right out there.
Did you
Where
put it in your shoe?
In the shoe, yeah, it did. It was hilarious.
Did it work?
It was, hell yeah, it did. Damn right it worked. It worked, but you had to beat the heck out of it. But no question about it. Once it started to move,
Yeah.
And then you got then you're good.
It shot like, you know, it was like champagne. It
you really got some.
Oh, we had some
That's
carbonation
fun.
happening or something.
Nice.
It was pretty.
Wine with soul.
Wine with soul, exactly.
Oh, all right.
You
So
know,
this
I don't
is.
think we're gonna make big money on selling the Ron Popeil
Yeah.
shoe opener.
Well, although, you never know. You got
And
the
you-
pet rack thing that worked, right?
Yeah, just whack it.
I got the pet shoe.
I'm telling you, that was.
I miss Ron Popeil.
I know what happened to him. You know?
He
All right.
Rocket Fisher.
he
Nothing
moved
wrong with
on.
that quirk. No, sir.
The hair,
Okay,
the
so-
hair that you
Yeah.
can spray.
All right, so this is a red blend, 51% Syrah, 32 Cab, 15 Petite Syrah, 2% Zinfandel. Now, how are you figuring all that out? This is like the scientist guy sitting there,
Well,
right?
no, like I
Right?
said, you're walking through and you're picking barrels and you're picking things and you're trying little bits of that and you've got your beakers out and your
Yeah, so
pipettes
part of
and
the
everything,
decision-
and you're like, you know what, this really needs is some of that. You know, that's how you end up with the 2% of anything. Is you're like, you don't think it would really matter, but it actually does, and sometimes it's even less than that. You know, you might end up with 0.5% of something, and it'll just take an edge off. It'll add just something, you know, around the palate, just a little bit, and it's that nuance that hopefully your palate is good enough, and you're not getting sick, and you're not. I mean, that's always the thing that frightens me about, you know, when we're blending wine is what frame of mind are you in? What's going on in your life? What kind of wine are you making at that point?
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's something always to think about. And then, you know, did I get a cold? Am I catching a cold? Then because
Now, you know, here you've said 51% Syrah. Could that also be different barrel styles within that 51%?
oh yeah,
Are you putting them into different-
everything is still different. There's new oak, there's neutral oak, there's, you know, every barrel has its own profile. Even among the neutral barrels, like, you know, they're all not really giving off a lot of oak, but they're all their own little worlds.
Yeah.
It's killer juice.
Oh, baby.
So do you try each year to replicate your style for this wine and thus the blend changes?
Wow.
Or do you go with whatever the blend presents itself?
Beautiful.
I think more of what the blend presents itself, because I don't think you can write a recipe for something, because what happened in the vineyard is so different that year.
Right.
So you're almost starting over.
Okay.
You know what the vineyard's going to produce, and you know some of the characteristics of it, but you're always surprised.
Any problems over there?
Yeah, I know in Bordeaux that blend changes because they try and keep a house style, but you're saying, again, like you said
Well,
before.
you do. You still try for maybe a house style, and I have a house palate. I mean, everything, you know, I'm sure you know, tastes to a lot of people like, oh, well. So you do just naturally, I think, have a house palate.
They hate it. They want
They
give
want less?
They want to give it back. Take that wine from them. They hate it.
Are they drinking from
Take that.
straws?
I know. Look at their other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
Kevin, Jordan, how's that rocking? Are we doing okay with that? You guys all right with that? Yeah. All right. And again, now this is a wine you could put some time on. You could part away with some of that, and that's what I keep trying to tell people. Just be smart. He made 274 cases according to this cheat sheet right here. That is not 51 Syrah, 32 Cab, 15 Petite Syrah, 2% Zinfandel. That is the blend, according to the Book of Oil. What's that? What was the 2% Zin for? Question
Just
from
because?
the gallery.
Because it
'Cause he
likes
had it.
you.
M-I-C-K-E-Y.
Yeah. Because Zinfandel wanted to be your friend.
Because it was time to do the letter Z.
Yes.
Brought to you by.
Brought to you by
By
Sesame Street. He did a video. It was so damn funny. We had
Oh,
visited.
this is your guys' crazy video club.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I love your guys' video club. I think it's a crack up. Scott was showing all those to me. I think those are great.
There you
go.
Oh my
He-
God, you're the man behind it?
Well, we went out
don't
and
want to be in
visited
front of
two.
it, that's for sure.
Well, yes.
We visited two wineries, and they were both start with an L. And so he opened the video with a with Sesame Street, and
Brought
today
to you by the letter L.
L. It was hilarious. We're sick here, okay? That's what we
Yes.
do. Sorry, those of you
But we
who are
drink
looking
wine,
at
we're okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we're drinking wine.
For medicinal purposes.
So, wine club members, this is in your shipment. Now, this cold soaked for 3 days,
Yeah.
followed by clustered yeast,
We did. Yes.
and then after they gently pressed it.
Gently. I did
Gently.
it all by hand. Just every little.
You little-
yeah.
It's kind of cool. I like that. Huh? Wow.
It took me months.
Now you said 20 months, 75%
New
new
French.
French oak barrels, and then 25 of the barrels were
25%.
were
American.
American new or
There's some neutral in there. American can get kind of strong depending on what varietal you're using.
Okay.
But yeah,
and alcohol is 14.6, so it's not over the
it's not huge, but I
No.
think it's well balanced.
yeah. And
It
then-
is, doesn't show that at all.
Yeah.
So, did I hear whole cluster fermentation, or did I just hear, what was the cluster thing?
Oh, what did I end up writing on there? I don't remember.
So,
Cold soak,
So we
followed
start
by
with cold soak, which
cultured
is a
leaf.
way to
So, yeah, you
control
just-
the tannins, right?
Absolutely, and your temperature control is very important, I think, throughout. But you know what? People still bring me bottles of wine they made in their garage, And I am so blown away sometimes by what people have come up. They're like, "Oh, what do you think of this?" I'm like, "This is just
sorry
insanely
about
good."
this.
You know, we just drank the whole thing in in a half an hour.
Give me more. I'm not
you
sure
really
how good
think
it is.
I didn't? You know, thanks for not. Yeah.
Karina's got a question. Go ahead. What's the character profile that releases from American oak?
Well, it's going to be depending on the oak barrel, depending on the toast. You're going to get all kinds of, you know, from pencil lead to cheese to kind of different. Yeah, I mean, really, I think
To bubble gum to Aunt Jemima pancakes. Seriously.
No, I mean, it really.
Because you got the
like,
oak will bleed that the sugar.
Okay, so what do you? Yeah, and toast, I think, has such a huge.
At Home Depot.
And not regular toast, toast with jam.
Toast with jam. Nice.
What kind of jam?
Typically blueberry jam.
Blueberry.
Yeah. Or a marmalade. I like a marmalade.
Marmalade's nice. He's the winemaker?
I mean, there's.
Oh, he's the assistant
yes.
winemaker.
All right, I'm going to unveil a new wine. This is a brand new wine. We've never had it in the room. In the 6 years we've been open, we've never had this particular blend. We'll call it blend, I guess, but in Paso Robles,
We'll add the
man,
fanfare later on the video, right?
You're carrying.
in Paso Robles, they every winery has one of these.
Oh.
And it was hilarious because who the hell was it? Oh, I was with my other son. We were tasting wine and we went into this taste room and the gal went, "Yeah, we're gonna next is up is the GSM." And I went, she went GSM and I went, and I didn't know what
You want to go to the gym?
I didn't know what it meant.
Wait,
I'm like,
I'm wine tasting.
I've heard of gluten
I know.
free.
I'm like-
I've heard of
and of course I didn't want to sound like I was stupid, you know. I'm like, oh,
Yes.
oh, who wouldn't want a GSM now?
GSM, there you go.
That's yeah. And I'm like, and she walked away, and I went to my son and said, "What the hell did she just say? What is
It's a
GSM?"
big deal in Australia these days.
Well, I know that now. It's foreign to me because I don't see it out in the marketplace.
They really don't, it's not too often you hear about that.
And so I didn't want to sound dumb. I went, of course, everybody's
Of course.
having it. Everyone's doing it. And she walked away, and I went,
You know, I don't like that part of the whole wine thing. You know, sometimes though, when people just assume, like, even if you don't, that you feel stupid. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you're in the business.
I felt really
And you're
stupid.
still like, I don't have any idea what you're talking about. Because you can't know everything.
No, and I
you
didn't wanna
can't-
say-
But
I
you
didn't-
gotta sell it as far as like, you know what? This is a blended wine.
So
This is, you know,
There you go, yeah.
this is.
The yes
and,
means
and-
stupid.
And where does it come from,
Yeah.
dumbass? Yeah.
well, since then, anytime I go to Paso, I go to these wineries, and sure enough, man, it's on every freaking menu, and they all use the.
You know, but again, it comes back to right place, right varietal, right clone, and that makes such a big difference with a lot of these wines, especially these wines that come from very hot climates. You know, the southern Rhone, down almost into Africa. You know, they're growing this fruit.
So, all right, so tell me where are you growing this, and how are the percentages managed, and how are you aging it,
wasn't.
and what, you know?
It was planted as a vineyard. So essentially how this vineyard was done was I planted it. It's extremely steep, rocky hillside vineyard. And
The one that you showed me?
yeah, this is from there.
Oh, hell, you ain't kidding.
And this is the
Rocky.
first vineyard
Holy
of it,
smokes, man.
and
It's like
very
all this.
minerally and very.
I mean, I had my four-wheel drive truck. There's no way I could get up on any of that. We went on a mule. Isn't that a
Yeah.
mule they had? Yeah, that was cool. Okay, so Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre.
Uh-huh. And you could use, you know, of Rhone style wines. There's other, you know, Sanso. You can use. There's a lot of different tools you can use. You can blend in whites, so you can put a little. You know,
it's
So
a
GSM
it's fair
could be-
game.
Could GSM mean something?
No, it's
always
always
those
those
three.
Yeah.
But he's right besides that, because over there in that part of the world, yes, it's very rocky soil. I mean, literally, you can't call it soil.
No,
I mean,
it is rock.
you have rocks like this, boulders. So
Percentage? The gallery's requesting percentages.
Honestly, I don't remember.
Nice.
I will tell you, it's mainly, it's, I'll do the math wrong, but it's about 45% Syrah, 51% Grenache, and the rest is...
good, you didn't have to do the math that way.
See, I
That's
didn't.
cool.
Sweet. You pick
Good.
45 and 51.
112% of the wine.
Yeah.
Is there a,
Is that a 2011?
What?
Is that a 2011?
No, it's a 12.
It's a 12. Okay. Thank you.
Todd, you gave 180% on that one.
It's that much better.
Thank you. Yeah. Can't we all be brothers?
Yeah. Wow. Well,
So yeah, no, it's fun, and it was just planted as a vineyard. And what it was.
So you planted the
is I
vin-
planted this, and you know, I sell fruit as well. I planted it to sell it, essentially, is what I originally started with.
But then you
is
thought,
that a
well,
new
the hell.
vineyard to prove.
Yeah.
This vineyard is new. How do you get anybody to buy it without showing them, like, well, so what's it in? Have you ever tasted it? And you know, sometimes somebody will give you a bottle of wine. They're like, 30% of this is from that vineyard, and you're like, well, which 30% am I tasting?
What am I
Oh
tasting?
no, it's the best part.
Yeah,
And you're
right,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, that great part is only, you know, the 30% I'm buying. So you know, I look at it from starting out growing vineyards and then to getting into making wine is it's kind of hard because I'm like, well, you know, I wouldn't want to buy it unless I tasted it either. So you kind of go into this thing and make that wine, and then get it kind of out to people who are looking to buy fruit and see what you can. But
So this is a vineyard blend. You got all three planted there. You
Yep.
gather that together. You
No,
don't worry
no.
about what's in there. You put it in. Obviously, you had to do the math later.
yeah.
But otherwise, you have one batch of wine from a vineyard, so single vineyard.
It was
it's a single-
exactly what it was, and it always is going to vary. You know, with Grenache, especially growing it around here or in a lot of places, you got a lot of shatter. So what shatter is that you'll have bloom, and then you're going to either have a cold or heat spike or some kind of thing that happens in the vineyard that you're going to lose a certain percentage of that cluster
yeah.
to whatever happened at, you know, at bloom. Sometimes they're full, sometimes they're, so it's regulated by how much Grenache you're going to get, say, by how much shatter you had. That's true of Pinot Noir. Syrah, not so much. Mourvedre, not so much. Grenache, always, I've found, is since we planted it in 2009. Sometimes it's tough, but then you get these great bunches of these, you know, little tiny berries that are really intense, and you get the stems, and then you're getting some flavor out of the stems. You're getting
Wow.
It's just a different wine.
Well,
And you co-ferment them, and you find out what you get. I mean, and that's really fun. It's kind of scary because you're like, oh, that's a, you know,
yeah, but
you're putting it into $1,000 barrels, and you know, hoping it works.
Well, it didn't hurt me.
No, it's really.
I think
nice.
I think you
No, and
nailed
I
it.
think this wine actually still needs more time.
Oh, sure, though.
Before it's going to be
Sure.
fully, you know,
Right.
opened up. I mean,
So,
Did you get it?
in production, how much wine did you think you?
this is about, I think, 160 cases.
160 cases. Hello, clues. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
And you're the first GSM in cellars.
Yes.
Yes.
Hell, you're probably the first GSM in most tasting rooms. I don't know. I don't go up and down the valley. I don't see it very often.
Kokomo's got a GSM. Truehurst has too. GPS.
All right, be
Truett Hearst does
Yeah,
not.
GPS.
They might have a GPS.
Right, it's a GPS.
They
yeah.
don't have a
yeah.
GSM.
Yeah.
And some of them
yeah.
are GMO free, which is also true.
I was just at Kokomo and I was at Truehurst.
They don't have a
no.
GSM.
No, they don't.
They do.
No,
Oh, nuh-uh.
Did you say not?
Kokomo, I think. Actually,
Kokomo,
I think,
yes.
they actually have one. But Truehurst doesn't have one.
No, they do Zinfandel, and I'm thinking of VML. They do Pinot.
Yeah, that's different. That's a different, you know. No. I'll tell you what, though, no arguments on that. Whoa, baby, we're loving that. That's
It has
rocking.
plenty of time to grow. It's not even there yet.
Oh my
It's
God.
working its way up there.
No,
Yeah.
and it's interesting because it was from it was from the first vintage, and that was what it is, and it didn't show green, and it showed a lot, I think. And
So when
it'll
you
only get better.
when are you releasing it? What's I mean,
Like I said, we're
didn't have
working
much of a label
We're
on
working
it.
on the label.
Well, get with the program, or put it on something.
Like I said, I will. We'll have it all done. It'll be beautiful. And
Okay.
yes.
All right. I love that. So wow, things looking down the road.
Yes, and that's why I wanted to bring that in tonight.
I know you did really good, but you have another wine here too that is also. Now I didn't mean to skip on the Pinot.
You hate Pinot.
No, I love Pinot. No. But I'm a purist in that once you cross over a certain.
So we're gonna drink some Cabernet and then some Pinot. Sweet.
No, I'm just
Spoken
looking
like a
at
true
my. I'm looking at
winemaker.
my
What could
timeline.
go wrong there? This is a little flat. Really?
Now we're stepping down.
Should I save that?
No.
Oh,
Just
okay.
let's go.
All right.
Should we
we're
stop for station identification since it's straight
Yeah.
up on
So,
the hour?
Karina, go ahead and show what entertainment we have this weekend. We have some of the best musicians on the planet. You guys, some of you missed Saturday. I had somebody that I bet you in the next 3 to 5 years, this gal is going to hit the big time. They were on tour from New Mexico, and it was Quietly Kept was the name of the band. Oh my
Grenache.
wow. I'm just telling you.
It was a GSM.
It was a GSM OMB. Yeah. It was pretty cool. But on Thursday, we've got, right, it's Thursday, John Pita. And those of you that weren't here on Saturday, he rocked the house. We call him the Reverend because he has his own church, but he's not singing church songs, but he is
Do you guys have church on here on Sunday?
well, of course.
All right.
We do it all, man. We do everything. It's crazy. John rocked the house so much. You guys got to see the video because I film all that stuff. John literally, when he finished the song and they applaud, they were quiet during the song. They weren't talking. They were listening. It was crazy. That's never happened. Never happened. All you guys started yapping, and he's like background music. And
I like how he's pointing and swinging a knife at the same time. I've been like,
That's
okay.
why I sit over here. I never sit there.
I mean, I'm in a danger seat.
Pretty much.
And there, and this, and I got this blades of fire. Yes, it's
thank God I know what I'm doing.
you're a
Okay,
professional
ninja.
ninja.
That I don't make
Well,
it up
he's
as
got
I
his
go.
ninja
I know he's
giants.
got the ninja
Yes,
thing.
ninja.
Well, I thought it said ants.
All right, so tell me about the 2011 Cabernet Sauvignon that I'm opening up. Is it all cab?
Is it all cab?
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
We're going to lose our satellite feed at 7:05.
No, I own it. Don't worry.
Okay.
That's pretty.
It is. And you know what? This is from absolutely one of my favorite vineyards in the whole world. This is not from my vineyard.
Why?
Why? Because it was planted before I was born. It's one of the oldest
It's
dry
gotta be
farm
pretty old, right?
Cabernet vineyards in Sonoma County.
Really?
It's planted above me, on the road that we live on. And it was planted, I think, in the late 50s, early 60s.
Wow.
And it's owned by a woman named Karen Lee,
Yeah.
who was Mike Lee's wife, they were the founders of Kenwood, and they have the most beautiful. When you have
Whoa.
vineyard envy, I have vineyard envy over, over this vineyard. It's absolutely gorgeous. And
Now, aging, how long are you aging that?
24 months.
24 months? New French oak?
You know what though? We're not using 100% French oak. I think to show off the fruit in this is what this wine is about. That you really don't. I mean, if we did 100% or 100, some people. I mean, where was I looking at? I was reading a sign and it said 200% French oak. And I kept looking at it, and I couldn't really understand it because I was like 200%. And then, oh yeah, 2 years, 24 months, 1 month 100% French oak, the next year 100% French oak, and I'm like,
Okay.
wow, what, you know.
Yeah. We had one of our vintners do that. They took it out of the damn barrel, put it back in stainless steel, and laid out brand new barrels again and dumped it right back in there. Went, whoa!
Wow.
To a Zinfandel. It was like, ah!
And it might, you know, it can work.
It worked,
you can
though.
do it.
It did work.
And if
It
it
did.
can, the wine can stand up to it, it's great. But
It's just expensive as hell. You just, you know, you just doubled your juice cost.
you know,
I mean-
French oak barrel, that's $1,100.
American.
American?
No, that's $1,100.
American, yeah.
dollars.
Although, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not
But I want to
Robles
show
or
this
anything.
fruit off. This is
Yeah.
fruit to show off.
Wow. Hoo-yah. Oh, baby,
And
baby.
again,
Oh,
it's
baby,
not
baby.
necessarily, you know, of the vintage. It's not extremely. It's not a huge, gigantic wine, but I think it's that it's all there. I
Yeah,
think-
but see, I think it's going to change a lot
Yeah.
in the bottle. It may get,
Oh,
it
this
may
is
get
got
quite a
plenty
bit
of time
bigger.
on this one.
Yeah.
And yet it's not it's not overpowering now. It's restraining itself, but it's going to open up and smooth
Oh.
out even more. So
Damn.
it's got plenty of time.
And I think, and that's back to that same discussion we were having. Yes, you have to sell one and make money, but I think Cabernet is definitely one of those wines that you would like to see some age on. I mean, it really does. It really it helps it substantially. So I mean, we'll hold it back.
Yeah.
Hold some wine back before we release it. That's why we're doing 11s now.
Well, you want bottle time too. I think that really is important. I think some people really rush into some stuff, and I think that's a mistake. I really think that time in the bottle's crucial. I mean, it really helps.
I think that the best example of that for me was drinking wine in Spain. And I think in Spain, and you'll sit down in a restaurant and you'll order some wine, and then it kind of comes around to what vintage did you want? Whereas it's an open palette as far as what you want to
Yeah.
drink, and I love that. And it wasn't, this is the price of this wine. This is what we sell it for, and we're not going to ding you any more or less for what you choose. And I love that. It's
Yeah.
like I'm getting a steak on a cutting board, and whatever the hell I want.
That's right.
It was
Yeah.
that to me I think
Love it.
was what I always kind of want to emulate. You always see those things. Okay, you can hear them that they've been drinking wine now.
Yeah. Right.
It gets
yeah.
a little
It got a little louder.
louder in here.
Oh, who's that girl over there? Oh, that's Janelle. Janelle, cool glasses. I'm just speaking out.
Yes.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh.
So we
Oh, I
can
see
open
Janelle.
up other GSM because the other one's a GSM too.
What? Oh,
That
Wow.
rosé.
no, it is not.
It is.
Andrew.
You can see two different
Where's
ones.
Andrew? Where's Andrew? Kevin, go in the fridge. There's a unmarked wine in there. Bring that out. We're gonna close with that one.
We should,
Oh.
you could be like, "Hey Andrew, give me a grilled cheese."
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Andrew.
Yeah. Yo, Andrew.
Give me a grilled cheese.
Yeah. Give me some grilled cheese, man. And I
Make
want the
it
blue
with
cheese
that
this
brie.
time.
I don't want that any of that
No.
American cheese. I want the brie.
No, give me the Hawaiian. I feel the Hawaiian. I have
Yeah,
Hawaiian.
Hawaiian.
Canadian
Sweet,
bacon,
it comes with
pineapple.
pineapple and Hawaiian.
Does it got a screw cap?
I think you're gonna have a hard time opening this one. But
You can try
save our
using my
amazing-
opener.
Sweet. All right. So what you do is you pound it. Yeah, it is cold.
Now, can you try the shoe tree? We'll take the camera outside. You can open that with a.
On the
Yeah,
tree.
on the tree.
I'm telling you, we did that. We did that. It was funnier than that. It was the funniest thing ever. As soon as that cork moved a little teeny bit, it just flew out of there. It
And
flew.
then, and then there were 3 police cars and a taser. And then,
Involved. Yes.
what are you doing,
Karina,
sir?
can you
Please
can you
put
give
down
me
the wine,
3
sir.
new glasses, please?
Yeah, we
Because I
can't
don't
drink
want to
out of
ruin the
this.
color.
Well, the color will, yeah, it'll be.
I don't want to screw up the color because the color of this is
Thank you
fantastic.
for multitasking.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. This is Vanna White or Karina.
I like the flower as always.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that cab is really good though. Damn. You people that are watching from home, too bad.
There's
You're
a
missing
nice
it.
tannin in that cab.
Yeah, it really is. It's
Okay,
smooth
so
tannin.
what the heck is this now? Tell me what.
This is a. Actually, it's a GSMC. Grenache
GSMC. None of the
Carignan
places
too?
I went to.
and a little bit of Carignan. The color is
Carignan.
actually more of the Carignan. And we
Carignan?
picked this at about 19, 20 bricks.
Beautiful. No.
So Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre, and Carignan.
Yep. The Carignan actually brought a little bit more of the pink because it truly was more of a much lighter.
Yahoo! Yeah, yeah. Some of you guys are just not have
This
to
happens
wait.
to him after 7 o'clock.
You'll have to wait. You'll have to wait. Oh man, this is what I look for when I go out and try to find the rosés. I want that.
So a rosé after a Cabernet is a good thing.
Always.
And you know what?
Yeah, I can-
I
I can-
agree. Well, no, seriously.
can-
Well,
I agree.
it does gonna cut it away. I mean, there's
does.
there's the cheesiness part of the Cabernet. I mean,
But the show
Cabernet,
is kind
yeah.
of got cheesiness to it too, so it's all good.
Oh
Yeah.
man, oh, you guys are gonna love this. Wow. What the hell is wrong with that?
minerally.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to make sure they need to rinse their glass, or you're
Yes.
screwing up the color. You're gonna. This is holy Toledo.
Yeah,
I
that's
dig
special, isn't it?
that. All I can say is raise the price. I don't care what the
It's
heck you.
$78.95.
Love that. Hell yeah!
But for
Why
Cellar,
not?
But for Cellar Club, it's an even 100.
Yes.
He's going, what are you doing? No,
125.
Don't,
125.
don't raise the price. No, I mean things
No,
are
that's the
worth-
fun thing with rosé. It's just rosé. It's fun. I was watching a documentary on champagne, and that was the thing. And they were talking about drinking champagne at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, wow, that's kind of wow.
That's aggressive.
That's aggressive. And they're like, yes, but
Oh.
we're supposed to be for fun. And I'm like, okay.
This is like a palate cleanser. You can.
And I think that's where you were going with that.
Yeah.
After having Cabernet,
Going
the end of the
going
night,
that
this would
far.
finish your night off
Totally does.
really tight.
I recommend a lot of times going back
Yeah,
to
I
a
almost
wine
would like
after
to see
heavy.
that in a sparkling. That would might be.
Oh,
like-
this wouldn't hurt your feelings, would it?
Woo! No, not at any stretch. No.
But
What's
again, yeah, most of them are going to be
Oh.
Pinot Noir based.
Oh, and it's got a great nose. It's got a great nose. I mean, and there's so much going on in the nose. I mean, you can really tell that you just.
It's a really hard wine to. It was a really scary wine kind of to make because I had never done a rosé that was, picked that lean. I think it was 18.9 bricks, and then did it through a full malolactic fermentation.
Oh man.
Which is what brought
it back. Yeah.
Which brought it back. So that was full ML on that. You can't tell that there's almost any. There's a little creaminess. to
No,
it,
yeah, there's
but
some
that's
creaminess,
full.
but you're right. Yeah,
That's
you can.
all ML.
Wow.
100%.
That's amazing. 14. Right? 14?
Yep, 14.
14. Wow, right? Oh boy. Oh boy. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, and it's got
But
a
it's
beautiful
clean.
color. and
It's super clean. It's super clean, which is what I want in a rosé. I want it to be clean. I don't want it to be, overly cloudy. I really want a clean, fresh
Well,
wine.
like you're saying, you want to finish your night and you want it to, a big meal, a big
Oh yeah.
thing, and then yes, you get something light and
yeah.
a glass of that.
And something cool, refreshing.
Yeah, you're not
Well,
gonna
even if
like
you
that
did
at all.
even if you did something kind of like a port,
Did you
Yeah.
taste that?
that would be a really
Karina?
fun experiment.
It's nice, huh? I mean, it's like holy.
Which we're actually planting a port block
A pork
When
line?
are we going to get that in the room?
I don't
in
know.
about 7 years. Yeah.
So, Well, you're still screwing around with the labels, so you're
Yeah. So, but it should be in the next couple weeks.
okay.
And so, yeah, we'll have it in
pull
here
the
for
trigger on
summer,
it.
and
Okay.
we'll be ready to rock.
Wow,
and roll.
so
all the way through
some-
Thanksgiving, we'll be
some
able
killer wines coming down the pike. here.
Definitely.
But we still have another one. You just left that Pinot Noir just sitting over there all by itself.
So we reset ourselves with this. We can go to the Pinot Noir.
I
'cause
like
we
the way
went-
you wine taste. We should drink more.
I agree.
But I'm going back to these glasses.
Why?
Why?
Well,
Do we have something else?
no,
Or you just want to drink more of this?
I really.
Oh, I see.
I
It's
was
like
really,
that, huh?
you know, well. All right, all right.
Yeah,
That
the
really
ML
would've
made a
been-
big difference.
I didn't want to.
Didn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
and that
Oh,
was
man.
and that was kind of the and you know, and that's why with winemaking, you have to be careful of being like, you made this. There are so many other people involved, and there are so many people. You know, the little
Hoo-ya.
I don't want to say that.
That's got a
woman,
great
The
nose.
woman who works at Scott
Wow.
Labs in Healdsburg was the one who was like, hey, you know, I just did a whole seminar on rosés, and this is what you need to do, because I was telling her what I was trying to do, and she's like, you know, you need help with things. And you know, and there are people that know a heck of a lot more than you do about things. So, you know, take it. And that's what this business, I think, is about, is that you got to learn from other
Sharing,
people.
yeah, absolutely
I mean, there
sharing
isn't,
information.
so saying that you did this all is not really a,
Okay, so now if you guys aren't completely lost in the way that we went around on this, we went around the horn. This is
Night
a
Train.
Pinot Noir, because it says so on this professionally built
This is the new label.
label, the new
This is the
label.
new label.
uh-huh.
The back label's already on here. I can't show it to you because
Right.
the camera size is the wrong angle. So this is, what year is this?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. It's whatever year.
A good year.
A good year. That's a tire company, isn't it? Oh, okay.
You're thinking Michelin.
So we went from a white wine into rosé, into some big reds, into a really big red. Then we went to rosé, and now we're back to Pinot. You gotta love that.
Oh, you know what though? No. But when we came back from that rosé to this, you're gonna pick up what this wine really kind of is about. It's showing itself right now because of the acidity of that rosé we were just drinking. Do you get that really spicy?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's a little
Like,
different.
yeah.
It's not and this is what I was saying about this vineyard being surrounded by eucalyptus
Wow.
trees, by a clone that I'm not sure where it particularly came from.
It's an unknown clone.
It's a kind of an unknown of who and what and where and who brought it from
Really?
where and
Wow.
but it's it's my favorite.
Wow.
But
Okay,
again,
so that-
it's you know, the vineyard right next door can be, you know, that's how hit and miss this business is that it doesn't matter, and what it's who does what with what.
Yeah. Well, I have to say you're doing the what with what, because we're loving that.
what I
Thank
like
you.
is-
Our team thinks it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What I like is you're taking chances with the plantings, you're exploring and listening to others and incorporating the best practices, and ultimately arriving at something that really is working, which to me is a great
Well, great.
It's a
Thank you.
great thing. So it isn't about that big ego at all. There's no big ego there. You're letting people.
That is a
jump
really
in.
clean wine, though. Holy Toledo, man. That is just pretty all the way through. And again, ageability all day. You know, we don't say that on Pinot enough. We really should. I like the older Pinots. I'm not having an issue. Don't be in such a damn
No, and
hurry.
it's finally just starting to come around. And you know what? This is one of those ones where we were standing on the bottling truck, and it was, should we filter it or not? And I said no, like a dumbass, because it would have come out, I think, earlier. But it took an extra year to start doing its thing. And I think that's the way it was, because I'm like, I don't want to mess with this when it was in the tank, we're gonna bottle it.
Yeah.
Well, what if we, you know, something happens? Nothing would have, I don't think, but
Yeah.
that was it.
You got a question? The year of the Pinot? What year?
What year were you born?
54.
Yeah, it was a 55. No, it's a 12.
12. All right.
Oh, look, it's the Dodgers.
Yeah. No. No. No.
You know what you have to call
they're
this
gonna-
shirt, though, is the shirt is tactical. That's
Yeah.
the term, tactical.
Yeah.
That's
Do you know where I got this?
Hans Dipple?
No, that's a total inside joke, and very funny. No, my first year I went to spring training in Scottsdale.
You actually,
We
you're
go
a
every
dot.
year.
You're,
Oh yeah, we
okay.
go. Yeah.
I didn't know you
And
were that deep.
and the first year that I went with my oldest son, I didn't have a jersey, and we went to the we were going to the game. I go, I don't even have a giant
you were
shirt on.
shunned.
I was freaking out. I went to Target, of all places.
Oh no,
on the-
you got that at Target?
I got
That's
this at Target.
sweet.
Nowhere in the planet.
You know-
I've never seen another one of these.
You know
ever.
why? Because I think it's because there's no gang affiliation. You
Yeah,
can
no,
wear it. There's no blue. There's
Yeah.
no red or green.
Oh.
You're good to go.
I'm good to go. Never again. I've never seen this shirt, and I had it.
That was one of those errors. They were supposed to put color on it, they didn't. So
They
they
forgot.
sent it to Target.
Question. Where's it from? What, the fruit?
Laguna Road.
Laguna Road.
Yes. The name of the vineyard is Placida. It's
You
owned
know
by
that, yeah.
Chuy Ordaz.
That's
It's a-
crazy. All right, so we're rolling way past the.
This is probably your longest
This is
show.
the longest show that we've ever done in 6 years, and we've done this show every single Tuesday for 6 years in a row.
Oh, look,
We've
her
never missed,
flowers
not
wilted.
one time. What?
I was going to say her flowers wilting.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
So, come out this weekend. It's a music festival at Railroad Square. There's going to be
Cool.
music at the other end of the street on Sunday. But come here and get your wine and go down there and picnic out there, whatever that, I don't know.
Or stay here.
Or just stay here. Because
You know
we're
what's
way
too
more
bad is
fun
you
and we
can't
have.
do a to-go cup in Santa Rosa.
I know, I hate that.
I mean, in New Orleans,
I do
we'd be
have
like, can I get
cups.
that in a to-go cup?
I do have cups. They can to go when I'm not looking. To go and not looking. So live music this weekend, 3 bands, love it. Got to come down here, have fun. Grilled cheese
Hey, look,
sandwiches.
I see the grilled cheese.
They're,
You guys-
they're
you
eating,
guys
they're
win.
eating the food over there. They're liking that. No
Grilled cheese.
problem. We make the best crazy food. It's just awesome. I want to thank all of you guys for drinking the wine and buying wine, and that's why you're here. We love that. Love that. Karina for keeping us on track and making
Thank you,
sure
Karina.
that the camera is pointing in the right direction, and Andrew trying to figure out which wine to pour on these bottles that had weird labels. Anyway, we won't go into that. And Dave Batt for being here and helping us with the Geek Squad. And Todd for being here and making these great, great, great wines. You gotta love that. Good job, Todd. And this is where you discover wine one sip at a time here at Cellars of Sonoma. We'll see you next week. Bye for now. Have fun, guys.